Welcome to the Tez Down Podcast. I am your host, Tez. It's been a long 24 every time, every night. And I'm going to tell you guys today we got a show that is going to be, some of it's going to be very speculative. Some of it's going to be speculative. Sorry about that, guys. That was bothering me. Some of the show is going to be very speculative today. You know, we need to hear from what people think about some of these issues that we've been talking about. We're going to run down sports to begin with, and that'll be starting us off with the Cleveland Browns and their inability to seemingly choose a quarterback. And it's starting to get messy, y'all. Secondly, we're going to touch on Trevante Davis. Trevante Tank Davis, is he retiring? Some of the things that he's been posting and saying and unposting make it seem as if he's going to be retiring after his fight with Jake Paul that's coming up on Netflix. After we take a look at that, we're going to visit Soft Raining, Souls of Thought, Uncle Plug TV, and Lady C on the No Middleman podcast. Last night, their topic came up, and a lot of it had to do with women leaving their husbands, and so to say. And I brought up that this is a wave going on right now on the social media spaces, and I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna watch a couple of videos with you guys on our random video of the day after we go off of that, and we're gonna get it going. We're gonna get started with the day to day. Let's start off with the sports section.
Read them all. But first things first, my big prediction. I think Dylan Gabriel is starting that game Sunday in London against Minnesota. You want to know why? Because every time he was asked, are you sticking with Flacco? Are you sticking with Flacco? Are you sticking with Flacco? All he says is, my focus is on making the offense. It's always, I understand the question. My focus is on making the offense better. Every single time. He will not answer the question. I 100% believe, and we'll have to ask the prediction pen, I guess. I will know by then, I think, before we pull the prediction pen out. But I honestly believe that Dylan Gabriel is starting on Sunday. He will not answer the question. So, first bold prediction of the week for you. I think Gabriel's getting the start. They're going to fly out. Plus, it's like a short week, too. I mean, they got to fly out Wednesday night to go to London. And then, I like London. I've been to London. London is awesome. It'd be really awesome to go to a Browns game. But I digress. And then they'll have like an abbreviated jog through, he called it, on Thursday, and some meetings. And then Friday, get back to normal. But it's a weird week, and he will not commit to Flacco. And so that's my prediction. And we're going to talk about why I think he was afraid, although he may not be now, why I think he was afraid to go to the rookie quarterbacks here in a minute. But, I mean, that whole topic may be blown up. But we're going to still do it anyway, just in case. But that's my bold prediction. I'm predicting Gabriel on Sunday because he's evasive about everything. Like, even hey, Grant Delpit said that they quit on that punt. And he goes, oh, we just got to get the guy on the ground. We're not asking you about that. We're asking you, do you think that they quit on that punt when the guy ran it back? Oh, no, well, we just got to get him on the ground. He never answers the question. It's so annoying. That's why it's Take a Minute Tuesday. And so I thought, okay, let's take a minute. Remember, get it off your chest yesterday. We've done this before. And then on Tuesday, we take a minute to reassess and see if we think that, when we melted down on Monday, I should call it Meltdown Monday. We melted down on Monday, and then do we take a step back and look at it and go, maybe we were wrong. Maybe we shouldn't have reacted that way. Okay. First thing, was I too hard on Kevin yesterday? Let's take a minute to talk about whether or not I was too hard on Kevin yesterday. No, absolutely not. He should be fired. Okay. Now let's take a minute to talk about whether or not I was too hard on Bubba Ventrone and special teams yesterday. Let me think about it. Absolutely not. He should be fired. And he is. I will show you. I'll show you his picture. There he is. Cam Robinson. He was a second-round pick in the 2017 draft. And then he was – this year he signed – there is no other alternative. This season is not lost. Look at the Giants. Dayball. His job's on the line. Russell Wilson sucks. What does he do? Sits Wilson, plays start, they win. See that? Tennessee, the head coach is calling the plays. They're losing games. What does he do? Gives up play calling. All these other guys are like, I got to make moves. The problem is this, and this is what's scary. Is he getting a reprieve? Does he know his job is safe? Is that why he just does this? Like because it has them tell him, I screwed up the Watson thing, so you guys don't worry about it. I won't fire you this year. But listen, I worked in TV news where they also tell you, oh, no, this is a 5-year plan. We're not going to do anything. We're not even going to look at the ratings for this show for 5 years. And then less than 2 years later, they come in and fire everybody. So I've had that happen to me. That is a true story. So why can't Haslam say, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to fire you. And then week 5, fire him? Why not? That's the only thing that could be going on here, is that he has some kind of job security. He's got pictures of Haslam. I don't know what is going on. Maybe like Haslam has his own money. I don't know. But
allegedly,
he should no longer be. He shouldn't be calling plays for sure. But
so to make this a lot more concise, right now they have an issue with not having a quarterback that can win games in Cleveland. As you've seen, they've lost every game this season. They have 2 young rookies that they drafted. One of them, I believe, was a steal. It's Shedeur Sanders, and I believe, and I think a lot of the sports community believes they're intentionally keeping him down and not allowing him to succeed in their system. And they'd rather just lose games with 40-plus-year-old Joe Flacco than actually letting the young guys ball out. Dylan Gabriel got to go in the game the last couple of times that Joe Flacco was benched. So I think if you're going to continue to bench your 40-plus-year-old quarterback, it's probably better just to move on. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we're going to do, too. In this next segment that we're talking about, we're going to talk about boxing. A little bit about the state of boxing is going to come up. A lot's going to come up about the YouTube boxing and the celebrity boxing, and so it's been called, that got going during the pandemic and hasn't really slowed down. People are still paying to see these celebrity boxing matches, and I believe, yes, it invigorated some new life into boxing, but I think that's only because during the pandemic there was a lot less things to watch, especially in the way of sporting events. So we're gonna listen to it and see what's gonna happen here. I don't know if he announced his retirement or if he's saying that he's gonna retire, but we're gonna take a look at it and we're gonna see what he's saying, because it's only right.
Did Tank deactivate his account? What is going on, bro? Okay, let's get into this. One for the history books in the sport of boxing pertaining to Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. I have been watching this somewhat casually, but it's been a back and forth based on the fight with Jake Paul, Tank potentially wanting to retire, and Shakur Stevenson essentially saying, yeah, bro, you don't want to fight. It's been heated, and Tank apparently has deleted his...
And for real, though, I'm going to tell you guys straight up. For real, though, I'm going to tell you, he doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. And I'm a firm believer that he's ducking Shakur Stevenson, because why would you take a fight with Jake Paul, who is ridiculously over your weight class, when you could take a fight with a ranked boxer in Shakur Stevenson, especially if you say you're as good as you say you are? I'm not a fan of ducking fights. I'm really not. This is not. We didn't need the Jake Paul fight. We would have been much better if we would have had the Shakur Stevenson fight, in my opinion. Didn't need the Jake Paul fight, man. Still don't need the Jake Paul fight. Not right now.
His Twitter account and then remade it public, then deleted all his replies. So we have to talk about this whole thing. What is going on between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson? Is this a build-up to a fight that we're not seeing behind the scenes, or is this just truly Tank going outside? The breakdown, let's go.
He is the star of Wade Concept.
Here's the first tweet, and we can't even click on it to zoom in on it because of Tank deleting his shit. Watch. Gone. That's insane. Anyway, it started out this morning. He said boxing definitely did a turn. It went from this side to that side with the sunglasses emoji. And this shit has no loyalty, so why would I care? I move accordingly. Ooh, that's kind of a bar. Boxing is dead. This is Gervonta Davis, who's about to fight in less than a month, declaring boxing, the sport of boxing, dead. I don't know what the innuendo is there. It went from this side to that side. Shit has no loyalty, so why would I care? There could be a couple of things that he's referring. Could he be referring to, I don't know, people switching sides? Could he be referring to formerly being with Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions to then being specifically with Al Heyman, PBC, and Leonard Ellerby? Could he be referring to the rise of Turki Al-Sheikh in boxing? We know that Tank and Turki have not had a great relationship. Remember, all the way back, Tank was saying, you get me 2 Ferraris, I'll come fight over there. But if Tank is talking about boxing being dead, look no further to who potentially is contributing to that in the sense that he's talking about than him. And again, I don't mind Tank fighting Jake just as long as he retires after this is done, which he might actually do. But he's a sitting world champion. Talking about boxing's dead when a sitting world champion is doing an exhibition whilst being a world champion. Not giving his belt back, not saying essentially I'm done at the highest level, but just holding on to his belt, which...
That's what I'm saying. You're accusing boxing of being the problem, Mr. Davis. You're accusing boxing of being the problem when you're not fighting boxing matches with ranked boxers in your weight class who are literally just waiting for a contract. They're literally just waiting for a contract, and you're not trying to fight them. Instead, you want to go fight Jake Paul. I can't say that fighting Jake Paul is not going to net him more money than fighting Shakur would. I think fighting Jake Paul probably get him significantly more money. But if it's just about the money, then say it's just about the money. Because if not, what I'm thinking is that you're trying to play the game here. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like you're trying to play the game and hold on to the title, not box, and then vacate it after maybe a year, 2 years of not having a boxing match.
Again, that's also on the sanctioning body. The WBA just being like, yeah, go do whatever. But foregoing matchups with Lamont Roach in the rematch, which should have happened. That should have been the #1 fight. Foregoing a matchup with Shakur Stevenson, even after the Jake fight. Now we're learning that's probably not going to happen. If boxing is dying or boxing is dead, it is because you, as a sitting world champion, took a fight with Jake Paul in an exhibition. Stuff like that is what kills boxing. That's what does. And again, I'm not sitting here blaming anybody, but world champions are meant to fight world championship level fights, not forego their world championship, hold on to the belt, and go fight in an exhibition and then retire. I just don't know what these things are responding to now. Gervonta responded to a tweet of Shakur Stevenson. I don't know what the tweet was, but he said, how much you making to fight Tio? Like I said, you was hurt, and I know. That's why you in my mentions right now. I know what I did to you when we sparred, and you know how good, and you know how you will feel if I said I would give you a payday. But I'm turning my back, get it out the mud. I assume that says pussy. So Gervonta, I assume, is referring to the Williams Zepeda fight, where Shakur was quote unquote hurt. Number one, Shakur was not hurt in the Williams Zepeda fight. Shakur got hit with a shot from Williams Zepeda, and I think he got either stepped on or his foot slipped, and he kind of fell backward a little bit, but he was not hurt in that fight. He got hit with a punch for sure. It's boxing. You swim, you're going to get wet. And he did have a different fight with Zepeda than a lot of people expected. He kind of took it to Zepeda, or at least stood in the pocket with him a lot more than people expected. But Gervonta is like,
yeah, he definitely they were grounding and pounding, well, not being on the ground obviously, but they were standing right there and throwing shots right in front of each other, and they kind of went at it for a while, and that was a good fight in my opinion.
Know what happened to you in sparring, and you did get hurt. Okay, that's why he doesn't want to fight Gervonta. Then he says, how much you making to fight Tio? And then this is how you know that Tank doesn't give a fuck about the sport of boxing or anything to do with boxing being alive or dead. The first thing he mentions is how much you make. Like, let's go band for band on what you make. Again, there's nothing wrong with Tank going to get his money, but let's all be clear that that's all the fight is for Tank. He's telling you without telling you that he's fighting Jake just because he's getting $40 million.
Yeah, and see, that's my point that I was making earlier. He's fighting him because he's getting $40 million. It's about the money. For him, anyway.
When we talk about boxing being dead, Tank has to line up at the front of the line. I can't blame him, but don't throw around, boxing's dead and people switch sides and all of that. You chose not to be great. That's it. You chose not to be great. Stuff like that, choices like that will kill boxing, for sure.
And we were still talking about this, too. Being greatness is a choice.
On a competitive level, it won't kill it on a business level. On a business level, until people run out of interest in these kind of matchups, it'll do well. On a competitive level, choosing not to fight the best will kill the sport. So maybe it's better if people like Tank aren't in the sport. And I don't even say that because I want that to be the case. I think Tank is ridiculously talented, but you can't want a fighter to fight more than what they want to. You can't. Tank fans or Tank people that like Tank and think he's one of the best, you can't want it for him. And then Shakur came back with, that's how I know you soft. I can't even go back and forth with you soft ass. You'd rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessed.
Yeah, I'm going to read this one. I'm going to read this one out myself. Shakur responded to Tank's accusations about fighting Teofimo Lopez and how much money Shakur Stevenson made to fight Teofimo Lopez. And Shakur responded with, that's how I know you soft. I can't even go back and forth with your soft ass. You rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessings upon you, cuz. Basically, he's telling him, he's like, you don't want to go and fight. You want to worry about money. You want to worry about your appearance. You want to worry about TV, all that. He said, no, you rather go in here and flap your gums instead of throw them gloves around. And he has a right to say that because he wants the contract to be done. The fight doesn't benefit Tank Davis. Let's be honest. The fight doesn't benefit him if he wants to retire and make money. The fight only benefits Shakur because Shakur has a chance to take it from him. Davis doesn't care about winning or losing, right? He cares about making money. That's why he's doing an exhibition match with Jake Paul.
Things upon you, cuz. He says, the people got your chest out so bad. You talking like you a killer, forgetting that you the one that runs, bitch. I'll be bring the fight to you. This dude, a made-up character. Quote, blessings upon you. Clown-ass dude, want to be Kevin Gates? Oh, my goodness. I mean, here's the thing, though. You can't say that stuff about Shakur if you're not willing to fight him. This is the point I think that we're going to come to today, is that Tank can say all this stuff he wants, but if you're not willing to fight Shakur, then none of it means anything anymore. Even if you believe that Tank is going to knock him out, even if you believe that Shakur is a runner, or that he's not in the trenches, or he's not a boxer that's willing to bring the fight, or whatever, none of it matters. You're talking from the sideline because you won't fight him. What does that say about Tank? If you talk all that stuff, you better want to fight. Otherwise, no one... What does it matter? His opinion. Calling him a runner, this and that. You have an opportunity to show the world what he is. You have an opportunity to show the world Shakur is not on your level. Shakur would run from you. Shakur would lose. You'd beat him up like you did in sparring, but you're not taking that fight. Unless this is some big work and I'm getting caught in it. This is Tank bowing out of the fight in real time. Does anybody else not see this? This is him bowing out. Shakur says, you took a knee in the middle of your last fight like a fucking amateur, talking about you got grease in your eyes because the fight was getting tough. Then you got on here crying about people being fake, but you're the fakest dude in boxing. What happened to your 6-7 fight deal? Wait, is that some kind of Gen Z 6-7 thing? What happened to the 6-7 fight deal? I don't know if that's a reference point there that I'm missing. But I assume that is in response.
I don't know if
to deal with the UFC. But yeah, now we're talking about Tank. If you want to talk about someone getting dropped or got hurt, you talk about Shakur getting hurt versus William Cepeda, which he did. Tank is the one that took a knee in this fight versus Lamont Roach. Hurt or not, he's the one that had to take a break. He's the one that took the knee and ran to the corner talking about I got grease in my eye. Again, you can say what you want about Shakur, but Shakur shows up. Shakur's taking tough fights. Shakur says, I want Teofimo Lopez. Tank said he wanted Teofimo, but we never got that fight. Tank said he'd smoke Shakur, but we never got that fight. And it's starting to become clear as to why we're not getting those fights, because Tank didn't really want it. Again, I think Tank is one of the most talented boxers in the sport. I think
Tank don't want the fight, yo.
I think his feet are fantastic.
He doesn't want that fight.
Great. He has got an insane catch counter, his reactability, his power, obviously. He's got a lot of tools that people don't even give him credit for. He is one of the most accurate boxers while not throwing punches like other guys will. Yeah, 50 mil, I get it. It's all great. I can't, like I said, I'm not mad at Tank for taking money, but you then have to reserve yourself to going, okay, especially if you're not going to fight other guys, if you're going to walk off into the sunset. You got to go, yeah, you know what? I didn't want it with Shakur. I didn't want it with you.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm not liking. You know, I'm not liking how he's throwing shots at people all day on the internet, but he's not stepping up to box anybody. How you gonna throw shots all day on the internet and not step up to box a soul? You want to box Jake Paul because you're about to make a lot of money off of a lot of money, guys, a lot of money he's about to make off this fight. But you don't want to actually take a real fight with a real boxer. Not saying Jake Paul isn't a real boxer, because the man trains hard. I'm saying you're not trying to fight somebody ranked in your own weight class, who's sanctioned by the governing bodies to do boxing, whose whole life has been about professional boxing. You don't want to fight that guy. You just want to talk crazy to him on the internet. I don't like that. This is how you take someone who likes you as a boxer and considers you on his top of boxers when it comes to like the guys he wants to watch fight. To now, I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want to watch him fight anymore. I'm gonna watch him fight because I watch boxing, and on big boxing nights, I watch big boxing nights. But what are we gonna see in a celebrity boxing match? Probably not what we would see if we saw a real non-exhibition title fight between Shakur and Tank. Y'all see the difference, right? It's not just about entertainment. It's about competition. Exhibitions are not quote-unquote competitive. Exhibitions are glorified sparring matches. They don't count. You're just going to get a payday to do this, which is crazy, but whatever. That's how people are spending their money these days. That's how people are spending their money. That's just the way it goes. I'm not going to be the guy that says you can't make your money. That's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to look back and say, if there's better fights on, I would watch better fights. But how can we get better fights if this is the fight you take versus the fight that you should have been taking? There's two guys you could have fought. Maybe three to give us interest in this title reign. This title reign is, it's a lame duck title reign in my opinion. I'll watch a couple more seconds of this before we move on to some meat, y'all.
That's what you have to say, because all this talking about it after the fact, that doesn't mean anything anymore. So whether you agree that Tank should have taken the money or not, whether you agree he should have fought tough level competition or exhibition with Jake Paul, what you can't do is sit online talking like you're going to beat these guys when you never got in the ring with them. You never wanted to. That's the thing. I'm sitting here like, you can't do this if you weren't willing to put it to the test. And after the Jake fight, which we'll pull up the tweet in a second, it looks like Tank's going to retire. You can't act like you were the boogeyman that no one wanted to fight when it was actually you that didn't want to fight then. Anyway, we continue. Tank quote tweets: "They trying to cash you out, fam. What you're not realizing, nobody wants to see you fight. You boring in the ring and you boring outside the ring. W, a big ass gap. The pushing the narrative that I'm scared of you when you and me know this is not true. It's no one wants to see you fight. They lose his money. Jesus Christ. They lose his money when you fight. Your own daughter said you almost got knocked out." Yeah, okay, again, the daughter line. It's a funny line because, what his daughter said was really funny, but it doesn't mean anything. Shakur was not in the least bit hurt. And Tank is saying, I don't want to fight you because no one wants to see you fight. Again, I get it. You want to make your $50 million. You want to be in big fights. But to me, that just shows that Tank had no interest in being the best in this, because Tank fought guys that had no clout, had no drawability before that. Fought Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach was drawn? Fuck no. If Tank beats Jake, Turkey going to make the Tank Shakur fight. This is what I hope, that in some way, shape, or form, we still get the fight. Because all this back and forth is making it more interesting to me. The build is happening whether they're trying to or not. And I'm hoping that both guys see this. Maybe I'm getting worked a little bit, and I'm hoping this is what is happening, is that we're getting a bit of them throwing it out there, and then the fight happens. But if he up and retires in the middle of it, then it's like, what the?
I'm telling you, I don't think that fight's going to happen. I do not think that fight's going to happen. So I don't think we have to worry about that.
Which is probably what's going to happen. Knowing Tank, that's what's going to happen. This was when someone responded to him, when he said boxing did a turn, all that. Someone said, please retire then. He said, I am in 8 weeks. I tend to believe him. Shakur came back. Yeah, I'm done with you, gang. You got it. Man's bragging about my daughter saying what she said. Tank, I wish you nothing but the best for your career and your family. Never had no hatred for you. It was business. But I'm better than you at boxing, and you know it. I'm satisfied with that. Tank can't come back and be like, you're not better if he's not willing to fight. And Shakur is very smart for putting it that way. That's a great response from Shakur, because all he's telling Tank is, I'm better than you, and if you think differently, come and prove it, which is the entirety of the sport of boxing, the predication of the sport, the best in the world. I think I'm the best, and I'll beat you. Come and prove it if you think it's different. Come and prove it if you think I'm wrong. Every sport ever is predicated on that. You're not, and just how you say all that buddy stuff, I know that's what you want. Shake up right after the fight and shit, right? Bam, fuck you. That right there is a dub.
Yeah.
And he said, stay blessed, little sis. Oh, shit. He's trying to go Tank into a fight. And I respect it, because why not? These are the names you need to beat to become a superstar. Tank is like clowning him like, you're not a superstar, haha. Not realizing that him and Shakur is probably the biggest fight outside of Jake Paul he could do. Why not keep your options open? After the
It's
Jake
a
Paul
huge fight.
why not try to keep your options open for potentially
It's a
Tricky
huge
Shake to come
fight. If
through
we got that
and say,
fight,
hey, I got one more massive
if
fight.
we got
But this last
the fight
interaction
that
is
we actually
the
wanted to
checkmate
see,
for me.
we'd
What
be
Shakur
super
says,
happy as
I'm
boxing
better than you at
fans.
boxing, and you know it. I'm satisfied with that. Like, he's like, listen, by you not fighting me, I won. By you not wanting to prove you were better, I won. I'm better than you, and your responses, and you continually not taking the fight and finding reasons not to, tells me that I'm better and that you didn't want. And Tank's like, no, you're not. But you're all saying that buddy shit. Fuck you. Tank, once again, emotional, and Shakur trying to stick it on. And then the freaking cherry on top is that Gervonta just deleted Twitter after. He deactivated after the entire exchange. If that's not a 10-8, I don't know what is. A back and forth with Shakur Stevenson made him delete his Twitter. Complete deactivation. How does that not tell you who got more emotionally involved? How does that not tell you who can't stand this idea that someone's better, that people are calling him a duck? You know what you do about that, Tank? You fight him. H.E. Turkey Shake has got to get involved. I'm just saying it. That's the only way this fight happens. Big H.E. needs to get these two in a room and make a fight happen after this Jake Paul fight. It has to. Again, intentionally or not, they are building more and more interest in this thing. As the days go by, I'm starting to want more and more for Tank and Shakur. If I didn't want it already, I want it more now. Maybe it's the principle of wanting the thing I can't have, but there's more than that to this fight. There is this back and forth. It is personal. They are two of the best in the world. They do have conflicting styles. Their approaches to the fight are different. All of that makes for an insane matchup that we just need. The high level.
We need it, and we're probably not going to get it. And one of the main reasons we're not going to get it is because if you're a boxer and you're making more money doing other things, you're probably going to go and make that money doing other things. That's just the way that it goes. As you can see, a lot of the top names are leveraging their celebrity more than they're leveraging their boxing skills. And because they're leveraging their celebrity over their boxing skills, this is what we get. This is what we get. Can we complain about it? We could. Can we be upset about this? Yes, we can. But at the end of the day, everyone knows that if you're a boxing fan, you're gonna watch boxing. And we all know that. And they know it too. So we might not get the fights that we want to see. We might not. I'll be happy if we do, but I doubt that we will. That being said, I think it's time for us to move on to our next segment. If you guys have anything to say about the state of boxing or anything like that, wait for chat Q&A, and we can talk about it during chat Q&A. In the next segment of today, we're going to keep the steam rolling, guys. In the next segment of today, what we're going to talk about is a conversation. It's been more of a back and forth between internet personalities. Once again, Charleston White is in the middle of this. I believe Joy Holcomb is in this too, and the Dr. Joy. And we're going to listen to it, but more than commonly, what we've come to find out is that these influencers on the internet are purposely giving bad advice to other women, to other men, to men in general. So we're going to analyze a little bit of this today. We're going to dive into it, and this is our interpersonal section of the show for today. So you guys strap in, get ready, drop those numbers in the chat. Let's get it going, y'all.
Level technique.
That then blame feminism and women running for presidents as the reason why society is deteriorating. And then they go out and vote as such in favor of trillionaires who wouldn't give a fuck if they had their last breath halfway through this podcast.
Okay.
I have been standing on this for decades, and I think
She just made us. That's a confession. She want to legalize prostitution. Why don't she be the candidate for it? Because I agree with her. You know why I agree with her? Because I know she done sold some before. That's the only reason she agreed with this.
Stop.
No woman in her right mind who ain't never sold her body would co-sign a woman being a prostitute. Only a real woman and a real lady will never say, I think prostitution should be legal. She would say, hey, I think we should provide services for the women and find other ways for them. But don't support her.
I mean, I think Charleston White is pretty extreme in the way that he explains things. I would not say that people who are advocating for it to be okay have sold it before. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not the kind of guy that will put a blanket statement on people like that. I mean, does he have a point? Yeah, but I don't think that's the case. I think that there is a movement for total and abject freedom in the country, and that means whatever it means to you. And to some people, it means the freedom to do stuff like, be prostitutes. Sell it all. That's what they want to do. I'm not judging them for it. It's not my place. If I don't want somebody that's like that, then I won't take somebody that's like that. That's just how it goes. You don't have to have them. You know, you don't have to have them at all. So let's keep seeing where they're going with this.
Why they get on the phone and tell each other business when they from the same guy? That's why two can get on the phone, hate one another because they same guy, and share intimate information that hurts each other. For him, they relate to each other. Two red birds. A bluebird wouldn't say that.
So she's a red bird.
She's a red bird. Now,
ask Travis Hunter. Ask so many men. The seduction of a is real. If you got her at the workplace, she gonna destroy the workplace. Do you know the story of Joy Taylor?
I know the story of Samson.
Samson is another great example.
Yeah.
If you got the at the workplace, things are gonna fall apart. This girl worked up at the TV station. She was the head dude at the station. She was boy that worked at the station, talking about how when they get rid of her, she act like she was sexually harassed.
Oh wow.
If you got a at your workplace, it's going to fall apart.
What she's really frustrated by is she's been exposed, but a lot of these other women haven't been exposed, and they've done the exact same thing. The exact same thing. She is not alone. She just got exposed through this lawsuit. Women that love to play victim, love to play, this whole sexist world. And there's a lot of, they come through the door letting you know, I'm down to do whatever it takes for me to get into this industry. And to some degree, I don't blame them. They're not qualified to sit up and talk about men's sports with other men that actually played the game and or covered it in a real way. And the only equalizer.
That's Jason Whitlock, and it refers to the story that we did a couple of weeks back about who's qualified to talk about sports and who isn't qualified to talk about sports. And you know, a lot of things have come up, and I think that when they're talking about this, the only disclaimer that I might have is, you know, I know some very knowledgeable women that can talk about sports. So I don't think sports talk by itself is gender exclusive, but I think in these particular cases, what they're referring to is the people who were in these positions and their opinions were not qualified. Obviously, we don't know anything about these people outside of what's being presented on television and social media. They would know them a lot more personally, seeing as how they're in the same studios with them. That is my only caveat there. You know, I don't really have much of an opinion on that. If y'all want to fight about it, you can fight about it. I'm not gonna. It's a waste of energy.
Do they have? Are their breasts? Is their sexuality? And they've been led to believe that being a man and being in a male space is the ultimate form of happiness and power. And so they do what's necessary to get in those positions. I'm not saying all the women do it. There's a reason why there are more Joy Taylors and Elle Duncans. And even I got a lot of respect for these next names I'm going to say. But there's a reason why all these women are attractive. And they're playing that sexuality game and they know it.
Chaos.
Well, I mean,
she's going to be talking about.
I mean, I'm going to address that, and I hope I don't break anybody's hearts or hurt any feelings. It's a lot easier to look at attractive people. It's a lot easier to market attractive people. People who are conventionally attractive. I'm not talking about their soul or their heart or how kind they are. When it comes to these machines, it's a lot easier to market attractive people, whether it be men or women. I mean, no woman that I know wants to watch TV shows with a bunch of ugly guys in it. No man I know wants to watch anything with a bunch of, you know, unattractive women in it. You know, they don't want to watch that. You know, there's a reason why that the movie stars, the singers, and the entertainers, and they all strive, for the most part, to maintain peak physical condition. They got the stylists, the designers, the hairdressers, all those people, makeup artists to make them be, and personal trainers, in-home gyms, the way they spend money on supplements and everything like that to try to maintain that peak that they got famous at. I understand why they do it. I also understand why it makes money, because people keep buying it. And so they're just following the same formula. Put pretty people on TV, let them talk about stuff people want to hear. Let's hope that they're halfway decent. That's just what the networks do, guys. That's just what they do. That's less of a thing of, in order for it to be an institution, there has to be a number of people who are literally funding it the way that it has been funded. That's not the case. This is a small group of people that are making decisions for everybody else. And because they're making decisions for everybody else based on what people say they want to see, they think they're providing a service, and that's why they hire the way that they do. Who said anything about fairness? I'm of the belief that fairness doesn't exist anyway. So if she got a job over, a less attractive person who might have had, more acumen than her in the sports field, but she's attractive, also talks about sports, they're going to hire the attractive one that also talks about sports. Let's not be obtuse here and not act like we don't know this already.
Somebody did something to me. You can't have them up on you like that, man.
Wait,
they are for nights going in a bad neighborhood, rolling in the hay, and pulling off in your car. That's all that is right there. I don't know what all is showing, but if I see that picture, I'm not about to walk up to that woman and be like, "Hello, lady. It is such a delight to be in your presence." When I walk up to her, I'm going to say what you're supposed to say, which is, how much?
Well, she's not a phlebotomist. She's a whole botanist.
How much? You get what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, people will act like...
I think I could take a second to address this too. I mean, okay, are we gonna act like people don't do things for attention? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but are we gonna act like people aren't doing things for attention? If you exaggerate that pose that we just saw, no, I'm not gonna play it again for you thirsties. No, I'm not gonna do that. But if we're gonna act like she got her butt all the way out in an unnatural position, sitting backwards on the chair, having someone take a picture while she's at work. I'm sorry, ladies. There is no equivalent of that. We could not pull that off as straight men, so to say. We could not pull that off. I mean, we could try, but it only come off as parody, in my opinion. Mostly because what attracts women is not the same thing that attracts men. That's a universal truth, right? Especially outside of the finances department. Again, with that, you can't act like that's not the thought that runs through most people's heads when they see that. Not because this person might be that, but because every image of that you've seen and been told that's what that is, that's what that is. So no, she might not be like that. But if she isn't, then why is she portraying the image of someone who is? I'm not well versed in how to weave through that without asking the question directly. I don't know the true answer to the question. I only know what we think and what we talk about. But if you're not something, why would you want to be seen as if you were? There was a time growing up in the city, various hoods and a couple different cities, and then moving to the suburbs, and I was always taught to not look like the people who these people in the suburbs were portraying themselves to be. Because the people who dressed like that, walked like that, talked like that, and behaved in those manners usually got themselves in a lot of trouble where I'm from. And so as to not look like you're a part of the crowd, you want to make sure that, your pants are pulled up, that, your gangsta lean walk, your gait is a little bit more neutral, that the colors that you're wearing are a little bit more neutral in certain places, in certain areas, and that, any identifying characteristics or marks that are commonplace with the type of people that they're looking for, that you don't portray any of those. That's what I was taught, to make sure that I stayed safe on two different levels. So if I'm to apply that same logic to today's society and say, if you don't want to be treated like a side piece, why are you acting like one? Why are you portraying yourself as one? If you want to be taken seriously as a man, you have to do serious things. I'll say that again for those that don't understand. If you want to be taken seriously as a man, you have to do serious things. Whatever that may be in your arena, you're still going to have to do serious things. I would hazard a guess to say that it's not gender specific. If you want to be taken seriously as a woman, you have to do serious things. If you want to be taken seriously as a human, you have to do serious things. I don't know why that seems to be taboo today.
Story to extreme. People will act like whatever. There was a time in society where a woman who did that would be ousted out of society because everybody at one time knew what a could bring to the village. The women, even if women were, they still conducted themselves like ladies.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's a time and a place.
Say that one more time. Do you know how many lives are destroyed because loose women are not identified until they run you through the ringer and use their system against you?
Yeah, it's real.
What are you talking about, man? This girl, here's another picture of her.
As always, we can only guarantee to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. So there's nothing left to do but get on into it. And we're going to go deep. How deep? Deeper than Atlantis on this one because the rabbit hole is endless.
Well, Polite Savages, we are revisiting Joy Taylor. A one sportcaster commentator is now turning to a new podcaster. Now, I don't know which role she's more trouble in, the one where she was getting on her knees allegedly, but it seems to me like she might be in another kind of hot seat, eventually being called out by leading the modern women of this day and age to the slaughter. Where, hear me out. She's really thinking that she's some type of savior leading all these modern women to water, saying that the women in their 20s should be going and experiencing their fun, telling these women to go date around, use their sexuality to turn into thirst traps, where what's going to happen is they're going to turn into cum buckets and cum rats, because they put all their mental focus and energy using their bodies to do work, as well as jump on many different kind of poles, and climbing the total pole of higher positions of pay, for just a one-night stand of fun, as well chasing an unfulfilling career.
Your 20s are not for long-term relationships. They're not for kids. They're for self-development, fun, twerking in Miami.
What is the youngest you would date?
I'm 36.
Okay, I'm 38.
Okay.
Like I didn't know who I was for a very long time, and I'm still finding out. So it just takes time to develop as a person. I mean, the person I was at 22 was a monster.
Monster?
Oh, I was a monster. Yeah. Honestly, I think around 34.
Yeah.
What I want for myself, other than my career.
Yeah.
What I really like to stand in, what makes me feel good, and I think as a woman also. When it comes to your body, the older you get, at least for me, the more comfortable I've gotten in my body.
Yes, facts.
So, you think as you get older, you're like, oh, I'm going to hate more about my body. You give less the older that you get.
Yes.
And so for me, I'm like, if I'm healthy, I'm cool. And everyone's just going to get whatever kind of body I roll out today. And you're welcome. I mean, I don't know if 34 is an old age to do that, but it's just, that's when it happened.
Yeah. I'd say for me, it was probably like 32. Probably like the moment I got pregnant.
We are the first generation of women that are not oppressed by men. And look at what they're doing to that. Just think about it, ladies. We are the first generation of women that do not need men for our bank accounts. We are allowed to vote, okay? We are allowed to have jobs. Like, look at the rate of which women are graduating. There are more women graduating college that have a higher level of education than men. They are terrified. They're like, bring it back, bring it back. We can't give these women that much power. We have had 55 years of basic human rights as women.
I totally get it when this type of stuff is being said. But here's the thing, though. I don't hear very many people saying that they want to keep you down, that they want to keep you out of jobs, that you can't have your own bank account, that you can't even have a job if you want to work one. I don't hear people saying that type of stuff. Like, I'm sure there are some people who do, especially, in certain belief systems, but I don't really hear this out loud in public. And, I have a hard time when I'm not really hearing it out loud in public very often, if ever, especially from normal, regular people. See, for me, it's the normal, regular people thing. And I think that everything that comes out when people do these types of videos is all hyperbole. I think it's all hyperbole. Everybody's not saying this. Everybody's not doing this. Everybody doesn't think this. It's not even the majority that do. But you know what? You got it. I'm going to let you finish your story. Soft Rain said, give me a husband. Let me go back to when we didn't have rights. Okay, y'all. Soft Rain is saying it. But Soft Rain is also not a man. Okay, let me make that very clear. That Soft Rain is not a man at all.
Where our husbands were not allowed to oppress us.
Just a quick reminder to all the women out there, especially younger women, please do 40-year-old you a favor and break up with that man. Do it now. When you're my age, you never regret being single, but you wish you could go back and break up with that guy and that other guy and that other guy.
See, now here we go. Here we go. This was this one right here. She literally just gave, so okay, nobody can say that we're getting this from nowhere. Once again, this is people advising other people to leave their marriages just because. Telling a 23-year-old to leave their marriage because their 40-year-old self would thank them is so ignorant, in my opinion. You don't know anything about these people that are coming up with your content. You don't know anything about the state of their existence, about the state of their marriage, their relationship, any of those things. And the advice that you give them is to leave their husband that they swore an oath to and signed a marriage contract with. You're telling them to break that contract because you said so, because you know the future. All right. So once again, they remember this 40 number, okay? Remember this 40 number. Soft Rain said, why do women feel it's okay to tell other women to leave their relationship? That's crazy work. I don't know, Soft Rain. From everything that I've seen over the last couple of weeks, a lot of times it's because they feel like they're not a good wife. So they tell them, leave your husband, not for your husband's sake, but because he deserves a better wife than you. That's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been seeing. So we're going to keep watching to see what happens in this case.
If you had to do it all over again, men would just be something you had played with every once in a while. The relationships are a waste of time. If they're not putting cash in your hand or giving you O's, you are intelligent, you are talented, you are creative. And it feels really good when you discover that. You were never meant to revolve your life around a man. You're not here to get married and be a baby maker. Above all else, follow your heart. What is it that you sincerely want to do, want to experience? And make sure you're not doing that thing to fill a void in your heart. Go to therapy, get a dog, but you will never regret the time you spend single, working on yourself, taking care of yourself first. I promise you that.
Polite Savages, Lady Polite Savages, Joy Taylor and the women that go on her show are not just the only ones spewing out this madness and self-sabotage hot smoke. There are many women echoing the same sentiments. Where are these close to past their prime ladies in their 40s? Having some type of mental episode, I don't know, I'm just saying things out of my ass and out of my nose. Is that these ladies are trying to sabotage all the 20-year-olds out there, as well as trying to influence the ladies that are in their 30s, trying to look for a man to get inside of a good marriage. But you know the saying goes, misery loves company. And the only way for these ladies proclaiming the modern woman ethos and ideology is trying to be the crabs in the bucket, where selfishly they are self-centeredly trying to ruin the happiness of younger women that are their competition. It's a dirty game, a dog-eat-dog world, preventing these women in their 20s from developing from girls and into...
You know, this just showed something that I thought was very interesting. So they just gave a whole montage of her working out. She's over 40 years old. She gave a whole montage of her working out to be in peak. I can't say peak today, y'all. Damn. Peak physical condition. All right. Got me awake now. They shouldn't have done that. She is working out to be in peak physical condition so that she can maximize her attractiveness to the opposite sex and maybe even the same one. That's her prerogative. It has nothing to do with my opinion. Nothing at all. I'm just pointing out that there are possibilities here, guys. You know, this is the same reason why guys who are nearing 40 get in the gym so we don't fall off, because we can't wake up after eating, our weight in meat and everything else, drinking shakes and French fries and all the stuff that, young men do and still come out with 8-packs. I know because I was one of them. Taking it a little bit light sometimes at practice because you can. Knowing that if you ran a mile today, you're going to be looking like a Greek god. Just one. She wants to be able to maintain that level so she can continue to market her attractiveness. Right? So if I can tell you that the reason that I work out so hard and that I watch what I eat and that I take supplements and all of this stuff to keep me healthy and drink a whole bunch of water is so I can maintain a peak level for longer, and then you tell me that you're fine the way that you are, but you're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, how does that make any sense? How does it make any sense if I work out to maintain peak so I'm not losing out to 25, 26, 27, a decade down the line from there. But you're telling me that you're a decade down the line from there and you're not doing it to maintain anything. You just want to be healthy. No, you're doing it for the exact same reasons. You want to maximize your attraction. It's okay to say that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look good. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be clean. There's nothing wrong with wanting to smell good, be shiny, attractive, all that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with maintenance and grooming. There's nothing wrong with that. The natural is fine, except when you realize that what we most of what we ingest, most of what we deal with, most of what we breathe, all that stuff is not natural. So if that's not natural, we have to go a little bit harder than natural, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. You got to go a little bit harder than natural because you're faced with so much unnatural stuff every single day. That's the truth. I'm telling it to you. I don't care about nobody's feelings when I say this. I don't care about mine or anybody else's. If you're aging, you're aging. That's what happens when you age. You need to work out harder. You need to be stronger. You need to be tougher. Unless you don't want to do that. And if you don't want to do that, be fine. Live in your natural aura, and someone will still like you. Maybe less people, and if you're a man, a lot less, because you let's just face the facts here. Our odds are a lot lower. This is a statistical fact. This is not my opinion. Statistical fact. 90% of women are only attracted to 10% of men. Men are attracted to 90% of women. That means, for y'all, it's 1 in 10, usually. Usually it's 1 in 10. You'll find 1 out of 10 guys attractive. For guys, we might be able to find a redeeming quality in all 10 of y'all. And if you don't believe me, I have a good example for you. You knew I was going to do it.
Well, it's still your tool is y'all. Go ahead, Joe. Back in another video. Let's get straight into it, y'all.
Oh, welcome in.
Hit the like button. Hit the like
Can we
button.
get your name?
My name is Josh.
Josh, okay. And Josh, how old are you?
Well, I got 2 ages.
Oh.
Right. So chronologically I'm 40.
Okay.
But biologically I'm 35.
And how does that work?
Well, chronologically it's like time,
Yeah.
you know, and biologically it's like health.
Oh, okay. So you're saying health-wise, you're 35.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll let you have it. And what do you do?
I work in the mental health field.
Nice. Very nice. What are some things you like to do for fun?
I like to work out, roller coasters.
Roller coaster.
What else? I skydive for 3 books.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. And what do you look for in a woman?
She has to have the divine feminine, kind, compassionate. Yeah.
Okay. And some deal breakers?
Deal breakers. Kids.
Okay. Kids. Okay. That's your
multiple baby daddies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we haven't got any pop balloons, but before we go over there, we did have you on the show before and you ended up matching. What happened with your match?
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Okay. Well, welcome back. We're glad to have you. Hopefully we find you someone today.
I remember him.
All right. So like I said, no one. Oh, okay. We did get a pop. Come on over here.
I don't remember him.
Okay. Your name and age?
Nikki, 33.
Nikki, why did you end up popping your balloon?
You're very handsome. I just don't like hair on men.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. And that was Nikki.
She said, "You're very handsome. I just don't like hair on men." Okay. Okay. So I pose this question. All the women out there, how do you feel if I told you to shave? If I say you're disqualified from dating people because you need to shave, I don't know, anywhere. I don't like eyebrows. There you go. That's neutral. I feel like that's a very weird thing to focus on. If you like everything else, you say, I don't like hair on men. I mean, as you can see from his hairstyle, this is a little bit more permanent, but that's just very shallow. Hair?
Nikki, someone that's your type?
All right. I'm gonna take a cut. I'll look you up and down. All right. The dress is a little bit too short. But if it was a little longer, yeah.
Just a dress.
So yes.
That shit
Yes,
short.
so yeah.
That shit short.
Well, it's a short because this looks like a nightgown. It looks way more like a nightgown than it does an actual dress. I'm not hating. It looks a nice looking dress. Definitely a club outfit. Not really for first dates, but I guess you got to put your best on when you come on a show like this, right?
Okay. Thank you. To get another pop over here, your name and age.
I'm Natalie. I'm 38.
Natalie, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Just physically not my type.
Okay, that's cool.
All right. And was she someone that's your type?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Physically not her type. So I want to point this out. This guy is in amazing shape for a 40-year-old man, and for anybody, to be honest. He's in amazing shape. She said physically not her type. So the other night, Soft Rain and the other ladies on the Queens panel decided that they wanted to talk about men that are fluffy. So when she says not her type, does she mean a fluffy guy? A fluffy guy, maybe? Is that what she's looking for, Soft Rain? Soft Rain said, potentially passing up a good man based on hair. It would be different if his hair was wild, but it's neatly groomed. My thoughts exactly. You know, but she said this new one said that he's not physically her type. And I'm not really sure what she means because this man's in impeccable shape.
Oh, she's someone that's your type.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You feeling me? She's mad. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Let's head on back. All right. Your name and age.
Janae, I'm one with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33.
Okay. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
So I popped it because you said divine feminine, and I'm more for like the fruits of the spirit. So
There you go.
I wasn't sure what you meant by divine feminine. I mean, I could have asked, but
Yeah.
I was unsure about that. It sounded very like spiritual.
I don't like that double talk that she just did. If you popped it, you need to own it. If you popped it, you need to own it. You made a decision, right? I'm more of the spiritual, fruits of the spirit type. I wasn't sure. I could have asked the question, but I popped it anyway. I just needed some attention. I don't like how after watching a couple episodes of this show that people will wait during someone else's time to make a spectacle, and that's like they'll pop it when they had the opportunity to pop it a long time before that. I know that's probably part of the show structure. I'm not the most familiar with the show, but it's just annoying. It's like somebody else is talking, and you're just gonna pop just because they're talking to somebody else. That's jealousy right there, in my opinion. Envy. He didn't tell me I look good. I need his attention. I need that little bit of validation, even if it costs me, the date. Which, let's face the facts here, y'all. Once again, I've had people that have complained and messaged that why would anybody even, consider this. But here's the thing. This is a dating show. They are not just on here rating people. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not what they're doing. It's a dating show. So you came here to get a date. You came here to get the best possible. You came here to get a date. So the fact that they're saying this off the wall stuff either thinks they might have saw somebody in the back that might be more attractive to them, or they really just didn't like the person. But the odds are when they give these ridiculous explanations like this, and then you have other people shaking their heads and I'm gonna pop my balloon now too. That's right. You didn't think about that when you saw the man. You saw what you saw. You liked it. We're getting a good example today, right now, of all of this.
And I'm for Christ.
Okay, so I'm Christian too.
Okay.
But I mean, like in terms of energy, so like I'm very masculine. I'm in my masculine energy, and I need the polarity. So I need the feminine energy. So it's like the plus and the minus. And if you don't have that,
that's true.
That minus, then we just
people got this shit twisted, bro. You can't be spiritual and a Christian, bro. Simple. I don't know why they keep mixing the two. Come on,
be two magnets, not.
I agree. I mean, can I ask questions? Like,
is he someone that's your type?
Yeah, I think he's attractive, and I just have a lot more questions.
But you popped your balloon before ever asking him a question. All right.
Questions. I mean, like, how Christian are you? Like, what does that mean?
Right.
Man, I talk to God every day. I do need to go to church, but I believe in the Most High.
Okay.
Read my Bible, pray every day. So yeah.
Okay. Why don't you go to church?
Okay. Is this leading to you getting your balloon back?
Right.
Is it leading to you getting your balloon back, or are you just?
Yes, I'll say I'll get it back. Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
Yeah. So I popped it for attention. Please give it back because I like the guy. All right. That's all you had to say.
Get the balloon back.
She asked a question. Hold on. She want to know.
There we go. Okay, we'll be back then. Let's head on back this way.
Comment down below because Kevin might be wrong. Kevin might be wrong. Me personally, I feel like that's two separate things. The divine energy, the zodiac sign.
We're not here for you.
A lot of ladies with their balloon left. Oh, okay. Let's go down over there.
Yeah. Once again, same thing.
All right. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Anita. I'm 37. I was trying to hear him out. I know you said you've been on the show before, and I don't know that I felt like a red flag, but I don't think there's like an attraction between us.
Okay.
I'm on the show. You're on the show, but it's a red flag that you're on the show, even though I'm on the show too, for the same reasons. But you're talking to too many other people while I'm over here. You're not attracted to me. Yes, there's 10 women in here with me, but you need to be looking only at me. So I'm popping it. Get your step in. Back off. I don't really think I like you anyway. That's what she said, but doesn't make any sense because she's on the show too for the same reason.
Okay.
No, she's someone that's your type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone. You know, I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that you got braids. Like you embracing your yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked, and I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
Damn.
Oh yeah, see, self-sabotage. See, that is a very good example of self-sabotage right there. She didn't think that he was attractive because he wasn't paying her only attention. Let's go back again. We'll watch it again to show y'all. That's exactly what I said that it was going to be. That's exactly what it was.
No, she's someone that's your type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone. You know, I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that you got braids. Like you embracing your yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked, and I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
Damn.
I should think that, but
Yeah, nah, you're very beautiful. I like your skin tone again, and you know you got gorgeous almond eyes. And, you know,
I'm surprised somebody else hasn't popped it.
So are you still leaving your balloon unpopular? Is he someone that is your type?
He's attractive. I just didn't think I was his type.
Do you want
You eliminating yourself. You want the balloon back?
Yeah.
Okay.
two? I ain't never seen
Let's
two.
get that balloon back.
Two get that balloon back. It's crazy. Hold on, he got a memorize. Hold on.
Okay, we'll be back.
They memorized.
Let's head on this way.
All right, bro. Get you one.
All right, Josh, I'm gonna hand you a pick now.
Come on.
She wanted it back too.
There you go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have you pop. How many of them are there? Let's do it 2 balloons. I know, I'm sorry.
Now, if I was him, if I was on this show, which I never will be, but if I was on this show and I was him and I was popping some balloons, I'm popping the 2 that popped already. I don't care what they talked about. I'm popping the 2 that popped already. I'm in there. Y'all didn't want this anyway. You made your decision. You don't no take backsies. Pop, 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 pop.
They are beautiful, but you gotta pop
He
2.
said all that about the chocolate. You can't pop her now.
Wow. I might.
Man, she can get pop also.
All right. So your name and age, and why was your balloon unpopped?
Sophia, 36. Very attractive, and I want to hear more about him.
Okay. And I saw it was really tough for you, Josh, but why'd you end up popping hers?
Just the address, like before, I felt like it's a little bit too short.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, you got nice smile.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
All right.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. We've got 5 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them a question.
Hold on.
All right.
Divine energy.
Sorry.
You gotta have that divine
What's something that you learned from your last relationship?
Okay. Name and age, and what's something you learned from your last relationship?
My name is Shahira. I'm 35, and I don't want to give the same answer that I gave last time, but I guess just be confident in who I am. And
Yeah. So I mean, y'all can check out Kevo and the Balloon Pop Show. If y'all want to do that. As you can see, we're pointing out some inconsistencies here. Okay. So essentially from what we've gleaned just from this small section of show, this guy is exactly what most of these girls on this program, these ladies, these young women, or not so young in some cases, they all like him. They all like what he's got going on, and he is the chooser in this. They're trying to be choosers, even though they're the ones waiting to be chosen. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand how you can be a chooser when you're the one in lined up to be chosen. I just don't understand how that works at all. I don't get it. But we're going to be moving on to our next segment to get us into some more meat of what the show is about. And we bring that into the conversation last night that they were having on the No Middleman podcast.
Hey, who is that and where did they come from?
Welcome in. Let's see here. So we're going to move on to the next topic tonight. The next topic is she left a great man. So this is a reaction to Anton Daniels. This is a lady who left a great man and wanted him to be a villain. So crazy how all this stuff line up, because our boy Classic talked about the villain era.
Classic.
And we talking about it today. He said, get your own ish. Tristan said, I'm not even paying for that. I'm scamming my way out of that. Allegedly. So let's hear what she has to say here, and then a little bit of what Anton say, and then we'll give our opinion.
I was waiting on my ex-husband to be a bad person. I was truly waiting on him to do something so fucked up to me, so bad, that it would justify me ending the marriage. What up, guys? So this is me, and I'm just getting into this whole TikTok thing, social media thing, sharing my life a little bit, because I know that my journey, my transparency, my authenticity is going to help somebody in a situation that I've overcome. I also said I was going to come out with a book on how to leave a good man. A lot of people that's never been in my situation won't be able to relate, and it's okay because this message ain't for you. But again, I was waiting on my husband to be a bad person. I stayed with the same person for 21 years, created a family. I was in the relationship 21 years, married 17, and I was married to a good man. I was married to a good guy, but we weren't good together. And being in a relationship where you're just not fulfilled, where you're not happy, but you're with a person that you know is good, and you're hearing the rest of the world talk about how hard it is, how there aren't any good men in the world, it will make you stay longer than you need to. Your soul is yearning for more, right? But you're stuck. And that was me for a very long time. And I had to realize that he doesn't have to be a villain in the story for me to find my happiness. He doesn't have to be a horrible person for me to realize that he is not my person. I did us both a favor. I really did. And this is coming from my heart. And it's hard because who leaves a good man? Who?
I divorced him, but I did us both a favor. I did us both a favor. I want to hear some more.
Women that is willing to sacrifice their family for their happiness. Meanwhile, men sacrifice their happiness for their family. And then they justify it in their mind and says, well, I did us both a favor. I actually did us a favor. 21 years, bro. 17 years marriage. Thrown down the drain because you don't know how to find yourself. And then when you get middle age, all of a sudden you have this epiphany when you've been basically baiting him. And this is her word. She says she was waiting on him to be the villain. It's crazy, bro. Honestly, there is no right move that you can make. And then women will sit there and be all in the comments and talking about, men, why y'all shouldn't be afraid of divorce. Men aren't afraid of being married. They're afraid of getting divorced and running into this type of nonsense that ain't justified. Look, bro, I come from a space where everything is supposed to be spiritual, it's supposed to be biblical. And all of this feeling junk, this is childish. This is like high school. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, what are you talking about? And I don't see enough women actually holding these type of women accountable for their actions. I went into her comments because I wanted to see it when y'all sent me this video. I wanted to see it, and I'm gonna pull it up for you right now. Exactly what this sentiment is and how people are moving and why people are doing some of the things that they're doing. And you would be surprised that it's women giving women advice on how to basically crash out. Women giving women advice on how to crash out. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all some of the comments so that y'all better understand exactly what the sentiment is and why you translate it as hating people, when in reality, all we're looking at is people that are continuing to do the worst thing and then get advice, and then got the nerve to be sitting there talking about they want to do a book. Check this out. This is crazy. This is her comments. The saying is true. Women will sacrifice their happiness, and women will sacrifice their family for happiness, and men will sacrifice their happiness for their family, right? All right, so that's the first comment. I literally just said that. Then the woman replies, here's the caveat. Y'all only sacrificing because it's cheaper to keep her. Y'all all are killing me. What?
Yeah, I don't agree with that one bit. I don't agree with that one bit. I mean, it's necessarily cheaper to keep her when you can just let them walk away. It's not cheaper to keep her anymore. It's actually the opposite. The longer you keep her, the more it's going to cost you in the long run if she does leave you. But hey, who cares, right? I mean, that's what it really comes down to. She needs to find herself, and it's her husband's fault after 21 years of marriage, even though he didn't do anything to her, that she lost herself. Sounds like a personal problem to me.
Of course, people gonna say, did you find what you was looking for? What made him good to stay married? The man, I want to go specifically to the women's comments. Yolanda says, did you find your person? You realize it was never about who was with you or you with? And then she says other videos, whatever, so on and so forth. Oh, this is her, the creator. I just now realized her. Y'all only sacrifice her because it's cheaper to keep her. Y'all are killing me. This woman is a savage, bro. This is absolutely savage.
Ladies, you have the floor.
I'm just angry by what I heard because evidently she don't love herself. She's not happy. Is the reason why she could not handle the good man that God placed in her life. And then you going to feel that you're privileged to stay, to mistreat. And God knows what else she's done behind the closed door, behind her husband's back. No respect at all. And then you come out in the public and say these things about your husband, your covering. I mean, just a totally disrespect. I have no respect for her. I have a problem with women that have husbands, good men, and then you feel privileged and you don't even respect him. And then you are in your feelings because she might be going through premenopausal, and you just want to throw something away because probably some other man then told her something that then went to her head and she feel entitled. The whole conversation then pissed me off. Do y'all realize how many single women out here wanting good men, looking for good men, can't find them because I say that the simp of the women got the good men and we good women over here waiting to the side. That was a simp move what she did, and just like we women call men simps, women are simps too.
Okay.
So what that girl.
All right, Lady C, say whatever you want, but I mean, I don't. Man, but Lady C, you have it. Lady C got the most double talk I ever seen. I think she got the title. I'm calling it how I see it. She got the most title. I don't mind listening though. Lady C said she was POWF. Yeah, she was. She's not happy. I mean, Y'all let her go on, so I guess I'm gonna let her go on too. See where we
You
land.
need to do if she ever see this video, you need to first of all repent to God, talking about you don't care what nobody said, it is what it is. You need to repent to God first, then you need to go back and repent to your husband, and then you need to deal with yourself because your emotions is offline. I mean, what?
Yeah, and then this happens.
We both got the same struggles. Like, I don't understand why more women don't seek married couples. I don't understand that. And then if your friends aren't getting married, that says a lot about your friends too, not just yourself, but your friends too. So I highly encourage men and women, not just women, men and women. If you're not around married people, man, get around some married people, man. Please do.
Yeah, but you forgetting this too, Nora. Sometimes married people that know they got a good thing, they don't want other women around because of situations. There's an old saying, don't keep no woman around your man. So that's why a lot of these married couples are really not partnering up with other married couples because, and then if you got to live scared, like,
is that an old saying? Don't keep no other woman around your men. That was the first time I heard it. I can understand the sentiment though, but is that an old saying that y'all say between each other?
That too. Then why you married?
Say that.
You know, because you can't go with him to work. You can't hold his hand when he go. You know,
oh, he got to work back anyway. All of them had work wives anyway.
And work husband.
Yeah.
And work husband. Yeah.
Go ahead, April.
Tristan said she never liked him and he didn't vet her to figure that out. I think she identified the parts of him she needed and used that until it no longer served her.
That's deep.
Yeah. Classic said women who deal with men that they don't like and allow those men to use their resources are pure evil. These chicks got the itch bad. Classic said her fingers, they itching for the streets.
For the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
They're selling thought pockets in the streets. Man, agree with Miss Lady C?
And I'm gonna tell y'all, ladies, y'all be on the lookout. Lady C and Soft Rain got something coming for y'all, so y'all be on the lookout.
Classic said females with confidants are a red flag. Classic said God does not tell on spouses. It's women who cheat for decades.
I do tell on spouses.
Yeah, misery loves company.
What? He said that's cap, Lady C. He said sometimes God don't tell you to tell him.
Yes, he do, because I know God was telling me stuff about my husband, and I'm sure God was telling my husband about me.
God wasn't telling you your husband nothing about nothing.
333 Ted's down in the chat. Ted's in the chat.
Pole mine treadmill.
Right.
That's like a
pole mine treadmill. We sit on the tree talking about being broke. That's a pole mine treadmill. We ain't going nowhere. We in the same
color. Yeah, put some color in the chat. He said a woman with a confidant who is not on the NDA is red flag.
Oh.
What's NDA?
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, that means you cannot talk about this. That's what this means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tristan said having people in your ear is the devil. I think people have to remember God's message is loud and clear. He's not whisper destruction in your ear. Tristan, when you write a book? Ted said people telling other people their issues has a way of getting to other people. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't need a bunch of people in your business, how about you talk to your wife, talk to your husband, talk to your boyfriend, talk to your girlfriend, and everything in between. Talk to your significant other. Talk to them. Why are you talking to everybody else about y'all problems and y'all business, but you're not trying to fix the person that you're with conversation and communication? We don't know how to communicate. That's because you're talking to everybody else more. Put yourselves, y'all really want to make things work, go sit in a room together. If you decide that you can't sit in a room together, then separate. It's that simple. Why is it becoming so complicated and difficult that no one seems to understand these simple things that we learned in kindergarten? Y'all remember peer mediation where y'all like, you and a little kid couldn't share crayons together, and so they had y'all go sit and talk about why y'all can't share crayons and all that type of stuff. This is hyperbole, nonetheless. This is an example, anecdotal example of what to do. We're not going to talk about my kindergarten tenure in here. Why would we do anything like that to begin with? Grown man, after all. But what I'm saying is communicate with each other, man. Why are y'all talking to everybody but each other? And once again, communication is key because it has to be a dialogue, not a monologue, soliloquy, a solo. No.
Absolutely. And it gets misconstrued by the time it gets to the third or fourth person. Marcellus,
it's right here.
That social media delusional lifestyle looks really good to them. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we discussed that before. We discussed that about women comparing other husbands. Oh, her husband does this for her, and all over social media. Yeah.
Talk about
the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan said, Lady C, that's a great point, though. Ted said, counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, NDA only.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
I just thought that was a very unique topic to hear a young lady talk about. Literally, she was waiting for him to be a villain, waiting for him to mess up. I want y'all to
Mess
save
up.
your opinions because we're going to actually dive deep into this on the last topic. But our next topic, man, kind of goes to what Lady C kind of spoke about when it came to marriage. But Cardi B actually going to give us some knowledge. I never thought it'd be something positive coming from Cardi B. But I guess when you're happy, you have a
We
lot of
did Cardi
positive
B.
things to say.
We did Cardi B
She's
last
happy right
night
now.
on
She's
there,
pregnant
so we're
with
gonna go here.
Stephon Diggs' baby.
So
She
y'all,
got
what
jersey
happened?
on. I'm about to do it now. Y'all are
Oh, you see, I stopped. I got this. I just hate the world got such a bad view on women. Because just like it's some unhealed, toxic women, it's some unhealed, toxic men. There's still some good women out here. And this is not in feelings and emotions. There are still some good men and women out here.
But that's the issue, Lady C, though. Men, we accept the feedback. Women fight the feedback.
Who fighting it? I ain't fighting it. I just ain't a...
Did y'all just watch the same clip that I did? He told her men accept the feedback, the ladies don't accept the feedback, and she literally just said, "Who fighting it? What feedback? I'm not accepting no feedback. What you talking about? If that ain't proof in the pudding, I don't know what is."
I'm just ain't agreeing to be molded.
Look at these men
Wait a minute.
Men,
You have what you say.
Not molded as in like bread.
Brains fade.
Molded means to be shaped and transformed and made.
Look at this. Look at this.
No, y'all think women over 35 is not teachable and not gonna listen. That's not the truth.
That's 100% the truth. What are you talking about? I'm not even gonna dilly-dally or dibble-dabble with this one. What am I gonna teach you? What am I gonna teach you? You've had so much life that you've lived and your independence. What am I gonna teach you when you're past 35? You've been through the world. You might have some children. You might have been married 1 or 2 times, sometimes 3. You done had a ton of partners because you're free. You can do whatever you want. You make all the money. Remember all of that. You had your own place from 18 on. College years, old phase, all of this. I cannot teach you. No one can. You can't teach you because you think you know everything already. That's not everybody, obviously. But come on now. 2 things can be true at the same time. The first thing is if you are clamoring for independence and dominance, and that's what you say that you care most about, the ability to do whatever you want to do in your life, then say I'm unteachable because I'm going to do what I want to do regardless of the information, the opinions, or any of the facts that are presented in front of me. I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. That makes you unteachable. That is the primary goal of any feminist movement, is to be able to be free to do whatever you want and no one tell you anything else about it. I'm not even against it. You can do whatever you want in this country. That does not make you free from consequences, but you can do whatever you want to do. You are free to do as you please. And no one, especially not me, is telling you otherwise. So when you've come with all of your experience and everything that you know about men, how can one teach you that does not know you? There are women out there that have never experienced a man that's capable of teaching and leading. Some women are open to it, no matter the age. Some aren't. All women who aren't married should. So here's the question that I should be open to it. Here's the question that I pose to you then, Softy. If this is the case, how is it then that right in the face of the same people saying that, oh, I just never had a man that's going to teach me, and then a man pops open and said, okay, chill, sit down, I'm going to teach you, and then you say, I'm independent, I don't need your help. I'll wait on that answer. Because it seems oxymoronic, double talk, for you to tell me that I have to support not only your independence, but your ability to also be a student. The two are not mutually exclusive. So which one is it? Do you want to be a student? Do you want to be an apprentice? Do you want to be taken under the wing? Or do you want to be the leader, the one that's doing the teaching? Now, mind you, there are many of us that are fine with either or. The thing is, both of them cannot exist at the same time. Both can't exist at the same time. Not in the same arena. There are other arenas that you will be well versed at than most or the average man. And yes, he should listen to you and take some instruction from you in your arena. But the minute that you step foot in his arena and tell him that you're going to run his arena the way you want to run his arena, regardless of how he is running his arena, that's when you become disagreeable. That's when you become unteachable. And that is when these accusations are brought up in their faces. This is happening in real time and people are still denying it. I don't understand that. Yeah, because I mean, it's right in our faces. It's right in our faces.
All women.
Well, this last comment or the last thing that we just went through, y'all totally didn't hear better that y'all really missed it. We had explained it like 7 times.
Too.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna let us have this one. Is that
look? It's
not about having, it's about accepting the feedback and finding a way to accept the feedback. You guys try to fight feedback. Y'all fight it. Like y'all don't accept it. Y'all are trying to give us no. I'm just saying y'all are giving. So you about to do it now. Y'all are giving.
I stopped. I got this.
So I was like, yep, here you go again. like you got all the men on the panel, everybody in the chat saying yes. And y'all saying no, that ain't. I'm like wow.
Like, y'all are fighting feedback. It's almost like
here's the thing, and I said this on other occasions too. If you ask me what I want for dinner, and this is not about being a woman, or this is just about being a human being. If a human being asks me what I want for dinner, and I say I can have anything I want for dinner, and they say, yeah, you can have anything you want for dinner, and I say I want a pizza from Home Run Inn. I want a large sausage pizza, not deep dish. I want a large sausage pizza, square cut, extra cheese, with from Home Run Inn. If you ask me, that's what I say I want it, and I want a couple cold ones. That's what I want for dinner tonight during the game. There's no game tonight, but that's just the scenario that we've created. And then you say, what do you think you should get a healthier option? No, because you just asked me what I wanted for dinner. You didn't say what I needed for dinner. You said what I wanted for dinner. I told you what I wanted. Well, I'm not going to do that for you. Well, I'm going to do it for myself because I always did when you weren't here. So I'm going to go and get my own dinner then because that's what I wanted. You asked me what I wanted. Now I'm thinking about it. That's what I want. I just don't think that you should have that. Why? That was none of this was part of the conversation. If you ask a bunch of men what a bunch of men want, and a bunch of men tell you the exact same thing, why would you then tell them that's not what y'all want? I will say I've stepped into the arena to learn and be accepting of all the feedback. Softy, you perfect in the chat. Perfect in the chat, Soft Rain. Go get me off my soapbox real quick. I see the tactic that you used. It's okay. Go ahead and run your show.
Y'all, we're literally force feeding you feedback, but then you still not eating it. Like you just.
I don't think we fight feedback. I think I'm defending the cause of it's.
What do you do when you defend it, ladies?
Listen, over the age, but still good quality. That's what I'm defending.
And that's okay to feel that way. And I even gave you the feedback of that, right? I said, don't take it personal. Don't take it. Just listen to the statement. And if it's some truth there, allow it to be some truth there. And if you feel like it ain't, be like, you know what? That don't apply to me. They're not talking to me. But my biggest thing is like we give so much feedback. You know how much feedback we gave Rain? And we still
I guess you're saying I'm next in line.
No, I just think it shows us. I like it because you guys show us what y'all are showing the world what we're saying. Like y'all are saying, like, okay, no, like I feel like more women need to be able to be teachable, be molded, allow feedback to feed you, allow it to fill you up. Stop taking feedback and thinking that we're trying to starve you. No, we're trying to grow you. Like it's feedback. We're feeding you something. We're feeding you something that's gonna hopefully bring you back to life. Because right now you're dead.
I'm leaving. I'm not that. Move on to the next topic, please, if you don't mind.
Wait a minute. I'm rebuked.
Let me run the show. Like April, go ahead and read the comments for us. So you running the show. Go ahead, finish the show.
Yeah.
I gotta read the comments. You want to put them up?
Yeah.
You got it too on your side.
Yeah.
No, when I'm on here, I make it big so I can see everything. Hold on. What is it?
My show. Go ahead. You do what you want to do.
Oh goodness. I don't know where the last comment was.
Look at Plug. Look at Plug.
Classic said, "Lady C, as much as you try your best to be an exception, women as a whole have become trash in part of the world." I agree. Tez, you just said you refused to be molded.
She did.
Classic said, Ike Turner was the best relationship manager to walk on 2 feet. His methods are no longer serviceable.
You know what?
His methods are also more necessary than ever. 2 things can be true. Dubai porta potty. How did this happen? Classic says she just said she didn't want to be molded. Church, please open your word to Proverbs.
Who said she didn't want to be molded?
You said that.
I didn't say I didn't want to be molded. When I said molded, that means I wasn't old and dry.
Okay. So that's what. Okay.
Yes, y'all get that right now, sweeties and gentlemen.
Ted said it wasn't a request when he said it at Classic. Eat the cake anime. Uncle Plug got his popcorn. Classic said we give Rain advice and she responds, but he has to earn submission. Mama V said y'all messing with the wrong 10%, just like we messing with the wrong 10%. Jen said take it all in. A molded, knowledgeable woman will have it all. I agree, Jen. Classic said Mama V is not 10%. Mama V said, you know what I meant to mean, Classic. Classic said she got a better idea, so run the show. Tristan said, while we acknowledge that there are exceptions to the rule, again, the percentage is very small. There are more women over 30 who are repulsed by the idea of the masculinity they try to emulate. Tristan, I need the book. Ted said, ha ha ha. Evaporated men is exactly what Lady C was celebrating. Laugh out loud. What do you mean by that, Ted? Classic said she forgot she said it.
I said what?
Ted said it was 8 seconds later, too, before the double talk happened.
What they talking about?
I have no idea.
Ain't no double talk here. Oh, they talking about Cardi B or something?
Well, I'm going to tell you why.
Hold on to the next video. Why people cheat.
The men have left. The men have left. The men left the show. Soldier Thought said, never experienced disrespect publicly, still recovering. Y'all made the men leave their own show. There's a lot more comments. There's a whole nother section that's involved in this, but they didn't come back for quite a while, y'all. And if you guys want to check out and see what the rest of the story and what we're referencing and what happened, go check out the No Middleman podcast on Souls of Thought channel, Conversations with Soft Rain, Uncle Plug TV's channels. Go check it out. It was a very good show. It was very eye-opening. I'm going to do one more segment for y'all because I promised. My heart tells me to end it right here. But because y'all lovely people are in here, I will definitely do the last segment of the show. And that is instant regret. Instant regret, y'all. Let's watch instant regret.
Into the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my god. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for, oh my god, I need to stop. I was married for over 20 years and like I was so used to being a wife. Like I loved being married, you know, like I love being a wife. I love having like that one person I love coming home to and like venting all my to. And now it's like, yeah, you date people and like sparks fly. And then it's just like, oh, I found better, you know?
This is another classic case of a woman who had a loyal husband, a stable home, and 20 years of shared history and still said, I'm bored. So she left. Why? Because the spark was gone. Ma'am, it's a marriage, not a fireworks display. Then she met some new guy who gave her butterflies, which, let's be honest.
I just came to the realization that like, if you're 40 years old, I honestly, I was talking to my ex again, and there was a TikTok. I had a fan on here, a TikTok follower that messaged me, and she said, hey, I started talking to this guy, and I noticed on his Instagram, like those highlight reels, you were in one of his highlight reels, like you guys made a TikTok together. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, because we were like trying to work things out. It was long distance, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, we're talking. He said he was single. And I'm like, I'm not even crying about that. I think I'm just more sad about the fact that like it's impossible. It's impossible to find someone that you will 100% trust. And part of it has to do with me too, because
So there's a part 3 we're going to take a break from that, and we're going to read this. Soft Rain says, Mr. Norris, I apologize. Never had the intention to disrespect you. I politely asked you to move on because the moment the horse was dead. Soft Rain, that's not an apology. That's not an apology, Soft Rain. No, I told you to move on because you was beating a dead horse. I love it. Thank you for apologizing to him, though. That does show some effort at reconciliation. In the portal of conversation to reconciliation has been opened, y'all. This is how y'all create a bond with the person that you wronged, even if you didn't feel like you wronged them. So this is live on how to put your pride aside, guys. Good job, Softy. Good job. Part 3, y'all.
Honestly, 99% of the time it's because they're cheating, because it's so accessible. Social media, talking to other women. Why do we still have my seatbelt on?
Ladies and gentlemen, this man didn't just bounce back. He leveled up. Went from husband to player of the year, full transformation, new stats, new jersey, whole new league. She left thinking he'd be at home in a hoodie, crying into a pillow, blasting sad songs, and eating ice cream straight from the tub. Nope. Instead, he hit the gym, hit the glow up, and hit reset. Now, he's got options, like Netflix, but in real life. He's out here double booking emotions like it's Open Table. And the plot twist? He turned the same woman who divorced him into his midweek side quest. She really thought she could just stroll back in like it was still her show. She thought she was the main character. Turns out she's now a recurring guest star with no lines and limited screen time. She figured he'd always be there, waiting around while she found herself. But he evolved. He moved on. And now she's trying to circle back, while he's out here managing a roster like a seasoned coach with a championship.
Honestly, 90.
Yeah, I think that's,
so I know
it's part 4. Part 4. We're gonna do part 4.
Everybody's heard all these crazy dating stories, and I haven't been on a date since I was with the last guy, and I'm like seriously considering never dating again. I see all these horror stories. It's the guys that like me are not the kind of guys I like. Just so much to it, and especially being in my 50s and not being skinny, it just is such a challenge that I don't even know if I want to bother anymore. I just don't know if I should just grow old by myself. I'm already old, but older. Sorry about my hair. But I don't know. I mean, what is your opinion on this dating situation? I don't find anybody that's really been happy or successful with it.
And she's out here still saying, those men aren't my type. At 50, your type retired. Your type found a younger model. Your type is too busy golfing in Florida with a woman who brings him lunch without starting a ton of arguments. At this point, your type should be breathing, loyal, and has a functioning hip. Dating at 50.
So I know everybody's heard all the.
I'm 42 years old. I'm a single mother. And a lot of people write to me on here or in the comments or even in the wild, and they will say that women, especially of my age, are still single because we have unreasonably high standards. And I don't think it's unreasonable, but I do think and know that our standards are quite high because we've been through enough to know what we want and what we don't want.
Oh, I just said that earlier, didn't I?
However,
yeah, over 35, you've been through everything already, so it's a lot harder to teach you something new, isn't it? I mean, I didn't say it. I said it first, but she's actually confirming it.
Or speaking for myself and probably a lot of other people out there, maybe men and women. I'm done. I'm done trying. I don't want to try anymore.
She's not just looking for a man. Oh no, she wants a healed, handsome, high-earning, emotionally intelligent alpha male with no kids, no issues, perfect communication, and who's also okay raising hers. Basically, Jesus with the gym membership. And when people tell her her standards are too high, she says, no, I just know my worth. Ma'am, your worth is competing with 25-year-old.
I'm 42 years.
He ain't lying. Your worth is competing with 25-year-olds, just like all of ours is too. The difference is we understand that we got to compete with younger, attractive people. We understand that, so we stay at the tip of our game if that's our prerogative. So I'm not making any excuses for anybody or anything like that, and I think we're gonna skip straight forward to question and A. We got some question and A today. Today was a heavy show with a lot of these topics people's feelings are involved, and you know what happens when you involve people's feelings. So give me some good Q&A, y'all. Give me something good. Give me something real good. Give me something real freaking good. I ain't got time to wait too long today, so I'm gonna need a good question. Right now might be the right time, since we're waiting on a question. Right now might be the right time to announce what I'm going to be doing in the coming months. Drop those questions in the chat box, guys. Drop those questions in the chat box. But I think that what I should do is announce what's going to happen with me soon, and I'm going to announce that right now. Not that one. Play. There you go.
And now, introducing your 2025 Robert Harrison Hall of Fame inductees from Chicago, Illinois, a halfback, number 24, Cortez Branch Jr.
So I'm very proud of myself in this situation. I didn't think that was going to happen, and I didn't think that they were going to induct me into the Hall of Fame. And I'm really happy that that's what's going to happen for me this year in December in Hawaii. So the first week of December, you guys may or may not have a Tez Down pod. What I may do is I may do some lifestyle vlogs while I'm in Hawaii and let y'all see what it looks like on the field. But you guys can follow my social media outlets on just about everything. It's Soul Reaper 24. On just about everything, it's Soul Reaper 24. You can find me at Soul Reaper 24 on both the Talk and the Talkiverse and IG. And you guys will be able to see a lot of that. And I'm going to post some of it here on this channel, seeing this out now, instead of not seeing my face. You guys see my face all the time. And you guys show up. So with that said, no questions, but keep up the great work. Thanks, Souls. I appreciate you. Soul said, congratulations. My cousin, Trayon Maxey, was added. Yeah, yes, he was. Yes, he was. So I'm very happy about this. I worked very, very hard to become relevant in the sport of football. It was not easy, and I sacrificed a lot. And I'm not done. I'm not done sacrificing a lot either. I'm not retiring yet. We still got some time before we do that. We're going to continue to do our things. Thanks, Sofrain. I appreciate you. It's going to be fun. So I don't have any questions for today. I want to thank you guys for coming on out. It's been 24. I need you go check out our constituents. That's Conversation with Soft Rain, Uncle Plug TV. You can actually find Nora's at Retired No Filter on IG if you guys want to see some of the daily shorts that he posts, as well as get the links to a lot of the other videos that he posts outside of just the No Middleman podcast. But you can also find him on Souls of Thought on YouTube. And watch the show from last night. Watch it in its entirety, guys. Make sure you comment back, because as you see, when you guys do that and you watch the shows back, mine, the Classic Codes, and No Middleman podcast, the Ben podcast, DDLG podcast for all sports and wrestling. When you guys watch those back and we're able to use them in our material, it helps out a lot. Lately YouTube and other outlets have been copywriting just about anything. And it's kind of hard to make certain videos and be relevant with the videos without using a lot of AI to do so, because of the massive amounts of trademarks and copyrights that have been put out. So it's great when people do have videos that you rock with that are in your constituency, that you guys have a mutual benefit for each other when it comes to the content creation game. So I really appreciate all of that you guys have done for me and my channel and your channels, and everything that I hope that I can do when I'm there. I hope not to be looked at as someone that is only purely combative, but I don't like double talk, number one. I don't like disrespect, number two. I will apologize when I'm wrong in the face of new facts and information. that has been presented in front of me that was previously unknown to me, I will change my opinion. I'm not married to my opinion in any sense of the word. You show me something that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to change my opinion, and we're going to alter it from there. And that might happen 2 or 3 times, depending on the information that you can provide to me, if it's factual and evident and clear and concise. So, with that being said, it's been 24. I'm 24. I'm Tez. This is the Tez Down. Thank you for coming. This is Sports Unscripted, Culture Unfiltered. I think we did all of that today, and I can't wait to see y'all tonight. It's only Tuesday. We got a couple more coming up for y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, y'all.